Living below your means is essential in today's society, especially if you live in a place like London where the cost of living is sky high and life financially is probably the hardest it's ever been for a lot of people. Now, I just want to stress I'm not a financial advisor, I have no qualifications in finance, but for the first 10 years of my life, I did earn very low money, and I was in bad paid jobs. During that time, I was never in debt, I never had credit cards, and I never had loans. Now, when I say live below your means, I earn probably now about £36,000 a year. I live as if I'm on about 24,000. I try and save as much as I can each month, and I invest it either in an ISA or a high interest account. Now, I know some people generally can't save because if the interest rate on your mortgage has shot up, or you've come into financial difficulty, you've lost your job. I understand these things happen in life, and I fully sympathise, because I know, we could all have bad things happen to us. But what I would say to you is, do not get suckered into these PCP car deals. Don't upgrade your gadgets every year. Just don't buy things you don't need, because this is what consumerism, this is what they want. They want you to spend, buy things you don't really need, keep the economy going, and then get into debt. People will pressure you into doing things, buying things you can't afford. When I was in very low paid jobs, I had several people trying to pressure me into buying a £20,000 car on a PCP deal. Obviously I didn't do it because it would have been financial suicide. When I changed jobs and had to take a £10,000 pay cut, common sense, I lived in a shared house. I had people pressuring me into renting a one-bedroom flat on my own, which would have cost over £1,000 a month, plus bills. I would have been overspent before I even started, and within 3 months would have been up to my eyes in debt. It probably would have affected my credit rating, and I would probably never have got a mortgage. So, don't fall into this pressure that you have to look cool, you have to keep up with the Joneses, you have to have the latest car and all this to look good, because believe me, I've always had second-hand cars, they've been fine. A car is only going to impress people for a couple of seconds. Once they know you've got it, the novelty's going to wear off. You don't need a big flash car, you don't need a huge house, you don't need the latest gadgets, designer clothes, designer handbags. It's all there just to keep you poor, to keep you working to death until, you're on your deathbed and you can't work anymore. So guys, if you can, live below your means, invest your money, and don't be pressured into buying all this crap you don't need, because the only person who's going to be stuck at the end of the day is you.